Hello again, everyone. Continuing on with more stories of Jesus and his life. Once there were two sisters. One was named Mary, the other's name was Martha. Jesus was their good friend. He came to see them whenever he was in town. One time, while Jesus was at their house, he had a long talk with Mary. Mary sat by Jesus. She listened and listened. Jesus had so many wonderful things to say. Now, Martha was thinking about other things. She knew there was a lot of work to do. She wanted to get their dinner ready. She wanted to clean the house. She wanted to make a nice bed for Jesus. And while Martha worked and worked and worked, Mary sat and listened. Finally, Martha got upset. Jesus, she said, Mary is not helping. I'm doing all the work by myself. Tell her to come up and help me. Martha, Martha, Jesus said, you are upset about so many things. What Mary is doing is something important. She is listening to me. She chose to do the best thing. Saturdays were special days for God's people. They called Saturday the Sabbath. God had said it was a day for resting, and it was a day the people worshiped God. Some of the leaders of God's people made up rules for the Sabbath. There are 6 days for work, they said. You must not do any work on the Sabbath. One Sabbath, Jesus was teaching the people. A crippled woman was there. She was bent over and she could not stand up straight. When Jesus saw her, he told her to come to him. Then he said to her, You are now made well. He put his hands on her. Right away she stood straight and tall, and she praised God. The leaders were angry. They said, Jesus, you worked when you made this woman well. You worked on the Sabbath day. But Jesus said, You take your donkey and your ox to get water on the Sabbath day. That is work too. If you can do that kind of work, then I can heal this woman. They knew Jesus was right, and all the people were excited about the wonderful things Jesus was doing. Jesus liked to tell stories. They had special meanings. One time he told this story. Pretend you are a shepherd, Jesus said. You have 100 sheep. You take good care of them. You show them where the sweetest grass is. You show them where the coolest water is. You know each one of your sheep, and you love them all. Every night as you take them to their pen, you count your sheep. You want to be sure they are all there, safe and sound. When you count 100, you know they are all there. You close the gate, and the sheep sleep safely. But one night, you are counting 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 99, only 99 sheep. You count again, but there are only 99 sheep. The other sheep must be lost. Do you say, Oh, well, at least I have 99 sheep? No, you go and find that lost sheep. You look and look and look, and when at last you find it, you carry it home on your shoulders. You're so happy that you call your friends. Look, you say, I found my lost sheep. Then Jesus told the special meaning of this story. God is like the shepherd, he said. God loves his people. If one of them disobeys him, he's like the lost sheep. But when he is sorry and comes back to God, God is happy. God is like a shepherd who has found his lost sheep. Another story. Once there was a woman who had 10 silver coins, said Jesus. Sometimes she would count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 coins. One day something was wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9? Only 9. Where could the other coin be? She lit her lamp so she could see under the furniture. She even swept her house looking for the coin. Suddenly she saw it. She picked it up and called her friends. Be happy with me, she said. I have found my lost coin. God is like that woman. He wants to find his people who are not following him. They are lost from him. He wants them to follow him again. Then they will be found and God will be happy. Another story is about the lost son. Once there was a man who had 2 sons, said Jesus. The younger son was not happy at home. He dreamed of an exciting life far away. One day, he decided to leave his home. So he went to his dad. I know that part of your land is mine, he said. I want you to pay me for my share. The father gave the son what he wanted. The son took it all and went far away. At first, he was happy. He did whatever he wanted to do, he went wherever he wanted to go, and he bought whatever he wanted to buy. Before long, he spent all his money. He didn't even have the money to buy food. So he got a job feeding pigs. He was sad and he wanted to go home, but he was also afraid. Maybe his father would not like him anymore. But he began the long trip home. At least he could be a servant instead of a son. When his father saw him coming, he ran to meet him. He hugged and kissed him. Let's have a party, he said. My son was lost, but now he is found. God is like this father. He is full of joy when someone decides to obey him. The next story is about the man who remembered. 10 men were very sad. They were sad because they were very sick. They were so sick they had to live away from their families and they had to live away from their friends. One day the 10 men found out that Jesus was coming their way. They decided to go meet him. When they saw him, they called, Jesus, Jesus. Jesus looked and he said, Go to the priest. Let him take a look at you. Now the priest was the one who could tell them if they were well. He could tell them if they could live with their families again. So they started on their way to see the priest. While the men were walking, they began to notice something. They were feeling better. They were looking better. In fact, they were all well. They were so excited they hurried on to see the priest. All but one. One man remembered something. He remembered to go back to Jesus and say thank you. Another day, mothers held their babies as they walked. Boys and girls skipped and hopped down the road. They were happy because they were going to see Jesus. But when they got to the place where Jesus was, Jesus' friends told them to go away. You cannot come to see Jesus, they said. He's too busy for children. He has important things to do. Now, Jesus found out what his friends were saying. He was angry. Don't stop the children, he said. Let them come to me. So they came, little boys and little girls and even babies. They came to Jesus, and Jesus took them in his arms. He was not too busy. He held them, and he blessed them, and he loved them. Children are very important to Jesus.